be the number one issue across the country. Homeowners should want to feel safe, want to feel secure. I thought the mayor putting this proposal out and us being a part of his negotiation tactics with the governor was just it shows lack of experience in the job. Him being 2 months into his term. So Southeast Queens. Communities like we call Councilmember VP because she's the superstar out here, and of course the city. It affects Whitestone, it affects Staten Island, it affects the Rockaway. So if you raise property taxes, if somebody's paying $3,500, $4,000, you're putting $800 on top of that. So it's fixed incomes. I'm 35 years old. I have friends that are moving to Atlanta, that's moving to North Carolina, moving to Houston. We want them to stay here. We want them to be attracted to New York City. And this kind of property tax increase scare is not the way to do it. I'm not against taxing the rich. If you tax the rich, fine. But the governor said she does not want to tax the rich. She said it already. So why we organized that rally was to set the tone in New York City. So just in case, if she does not tax the rich, hands off our property taxes.
Well, you talk about fleeing, right, the area. Well, if everybody who's a homeowner who was paying taxes moves away, then your tax base actually collapses. But James, I want to follow up with you on that because you probably talk to friends who are also homeowners. What do they think about this idea that Mamdani campaigned all on taxing the rich and affordability, and yet now all of a sudden he's taking everybody's money?
Homeowners are watching the news like everyone else is, and they're seeing Governor Kathy Hochul saying she is not going to tax the rich. Homeowners are saying, well, now Zoran, the mayor, is saying, hey, we want to tax the rich. He gave us two options, tax the rich or raise property taxes. There are way more options than those two options, right? So that was a spending. Yes, and listen, if he cares about affordability so much, don't put $77 million for free stores that we didn't ask for anyway. That was his thing that he wanted to run on. He wanted free grocery stores across the 5 boroughs. $77 million he's putting out there. Affordability, this was a thing he ran on. Homeowners are upset, like I said. Young people want to be in New York City. Seniors want to stay in their homes. This is not the way to go about it. And I just think that there's a better way to go about this, and I can't repeat that again. And hope that that young people, because the problem that we're having is young people are believing the slogan. They're believing the slogans: free buses, free this, and it's going to hit the middle class more than anybody else. Yep. Right? We're not
rich. That's what happens with socialism. Is you think that it's only going to be the top people with all the money who get taxed, and then it goes and trickles down to everyone.
And it's not a Democrat and Republican issue. It's everybody.
Exactly. And also it was interesting how the mayor, Mamdani, came out with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez this week with an ad about free health care for illegal immigrants, which of course is not free. It's coming from taxpayers, which is why they're trying to tax homeowners. We got to go, but Vicki and James, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great to see you both.
Thank you very much. Hey, James.
Thank you.
See you in Queens.
Well, if you were watching the State of the Union the other day, you would have heard an astonishing fact that President Trump revealed the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. That was news to some media outlets, but not to us. News Nation reported on that a month ago, and the numbers across the country really do speak for themselves. We're seeing huge declines in murders across the country. Denver down 41%, D.C. down 40%, Omaha 40%, Los Angeles 36%, and the list goes on. Someone who's been following this very closely is Allie Bradley. She joins us now with the Bradley Report. Allie, these are remarkable numbers, and they represent people who are living.
Yeah, remarkable historic numbers, Katie. The White House, as you would imagine, is doing a victory lap of sorts, attributing this historic decline to their law and order approach. And that does include immigration enforcement. Now, federal officials say that ICE arrests and removals are targeting the worst of the worst, are targeting gang members, are targeting people with felony criminal convictions. And those individuals, the argument there is that removing those individuals and incarcerating them would reduce the number of people capable of actually committing a homicide in the country. Now, they're also targeting transnational organizations like the cartels and gangs as well, because the theory behind that is that disrupting those transnational border issues would disrupt drug trafficking, would disrupt human smuggling, and also would prevent some of that violence in the interior cities as well, Katie. So we are seeing a lot of the immigration piece being played out with this homicide rate as well, Katie.
Well, speaking of the worst, Allie, you have exclusive intelligence from the Department of Homeland Security about who they've been arresting lately. Tell us.
Yeah, DHS gives a Bradley report every Thursday, the worst of the worst, who ICE considers to be those individuals. Now, here are 4 of them that were arrested just yesterday. We want to show you the first guy here. This is an individual named Luis Armando Valdivinos Valencia. He's from Mexico. He's a known or suspected terrorist. He's an MS-13 gang member convicted for murder, first-degree robbery, and first-degree burglary in California. Then you have Julio Zemurio Barrios from Mexico, convicted for rape in New York. Then you have Rocio Inacua Rosas, also from Mexico, convicted for kidnapping in California. And then Johnny Umanzor Cardenas from Honduras, convicted for aggravated assault with a weapon, larceny, resisting an officer, and unauthorized use of a vehicle in Texas. Deputy Assistant Secretary Lauren Biss saying, quote, nearly 70% of ICE arrests are of illegal aliens charged or convicted of crime in the United States. This statistic does not even count foreign fugitives, terrorists, and human rights abusers who lack a rap sheet in the United States. Now, those 4 individuals that you just saw will join the growing list. There's more than 25,000 individuals already on the government's worst of the worst website. Easy to find that. You can literally select what state you're from, where they're from, and look at who the government considers the worst of the worst of these criminal arrests, Katie.
I think it's no coincidence that violent crime rates are down while they're getting rid of people like that. Thank you, Allie Bradley. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Now to a major shift in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. The FBI is relocating its command post to Phoenix, while groups like the Cajun Navy are still on the ground in Tucson. Plus, the new video everyone's talking about, taken the night Nancy was abducted. An environmental crisis of epic proportions is also happening just miles from the White House. A viral sensation, cat fisherman Chunky, has seen it firsthand. You don't want to miss what he has to say. Up next.
When emergencies happen, you want help now. You want ER now. You never know when you'll be faced with an emergency. 24/7, 365, we are here for you. ER now. Faces you know, doctors you trust.
Open sesame.
Open your garage from anywhere. Don't just view it, MyQ it.
Turning concern into action. Austin's Joelle McNew brought students, parents, first responders, and local leaders together to create real change. Through her leadership with Safe Horns, student safety around the University of Texas has measurably improved. From better lighting to emergency call boxes and stronger community trust. We're proud to recognize Joelle McNew, a remarkable woman whose collaboration and innovation are making a difference with public safety. Prevagen is honored to sponsor the Remarkable Women Public Safety Award, celebrating women who help protect and strengthen our communities.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real